And we're live. So, warning to the chat, I'm having computer problems. If I disappear, Becca and Lori will continue on and I'll be back. It's
We
like
just had a minor episode before we went live where Jenny had to pop out and then pop back in because she kept freezing on her end, but Lori and I were fine. So
and I'm
hopefully
not in the storm. The storm is south of me. It's not hitting Chicago. We may get some lake effect snow, like an inch or two, but hope you guys are staying warm. They're saying like up to a foot of snow across the middle going across to DC.
Not here. We're in the 60s, y'all. And I'm like, where's the rain? Where's the cold weather? Where's all the fun stuff? So I don't even know if we're going to get snow up in the mountains because to take Braxy up there, let her play in the snow. I don't even know. So my brother-in-law got like a super, super tiny dusting of snow earlier this week. And that was about it. He said it melted like within an hour. I was like, well, not making the trip all the way up there just to look at dirt snow for like an hour, so.
We're cold. We're dropping in single digits at night. It was funny because I went over to my guitar teacher's house the day after New Year's Eve for dinner. And when I went in, it was like comfortable cold. It was like around 31, 32. When I came out, I was like, holy crap, it was freezing. Single digits.
Yeah, tonight the lowest we're going to get is 53. No, 51. Nope, 50. Like at 2 a.m. in the morning. And that's about as low as it's going to get.
Wow, we went into the high 40s. So that's cool for us, but it's gonna be cooler this coming week. But please, everyone, stay safe if you're in that real terrible swath that's going across the mid-states. Please.
Absolutely. It's blizzard-like conditions because high winds and stuff, so be careful.
And black ice.
So New Year's Eve, we did our fundraiser for World Central Kitchen, and Chef Andre was honored. When was that? Friday, I think. Got the Freedom Medal from Biden. He was the first one that was awarded a medal, and we raised $11,600, our biggest fundraiser yet. The donate button is still open if anyone would like to give. You can go to the New Year's Eve live stream and look for the donate button. But thank you all so much for all your donations. Thank you to our moderators for helping, all our guest readers that came in. $11,600. That was awesome.
You guys are amazing.
I was hoping to break 10,000 because our biggest fundraiser before that was 9,200. So I was hoping we'd go over 10,000. So our New Year's Eve is always our biggest.
Last year I made it. This year I did not.
Yeah, I figured I popped in for a couple of minutes and I was out. Like I was doing one of these like all day. So I was like, hello, goodbye. Happy New Year. See you later. And then I went to sleep.
We had quite a few people, especially international people that were having trouble with the donate button. So I know some people went directly to World Central Kitchen's website to donate, which is fine too, any way to get the money to them. So technically we're probably over that 11,600, but that was awesome. Lori, what you got going on in the new year?
Well, I am offering a tarot class that starts an 8-week tarot class that starts on Thursday, January 16th. And it's 8 Thursdays, and it's primarily the meanings, not so much about how to read. Like lots of times I put the Celtic cross in there, but this is primarily the meanings and the symbology of each of the 78 cards. So it's an in-depth dive on the meanings of the cards. And it's almost full. There's only a couple of spaces left, but if you'd like to join us, you can email me at thewayofpositivechange@gmail.com. And I have
Awesome.
readings open available at the end of next week. Saturday, I think, is open. And the week after that, if anyone wants to have a reading, thewayofpositivechange.com. Thank you.
Miss Becca, what you got going on with the Braxy? Any more visits with her big-headed brother coming up?
It was so huge.
Yeah, Lori, I
saw the pictures. Yeah.
I've never seen a dog that big in my life. I was
Me
like, what the hell? I'm done traveling. So thank goodness for that. Because Jen, I apologize for New Year's Eve, but I was done. Like all those days. And it's not just the travel, it's sitting there in traffic and not moving for hours. Like you're just sitting there. Like I could have gotten out of my car and walked and made it to where I was. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the most tiring part. But so all that's done. So yeah, I'll probably be back to regular routine soon. Now that I'm well rested. Braxy's well rested. Peanut's well rested. We're all well rested. So I should be back soon with GTs and stuff like that. So I just need to clean up after this project that I just did. And then I'll be set.
All right.
Hey, Kevin, see you in the chat. So I have readings available in February and March, a little bit in February. March is open, jinlintarot.com, and my seminar is now available for October. There's two different sessions. They're identical. You don't need both. The first one is October 1st through the 3rd, and the second session is October 3rd through the 5th. So we'll have a half day on the 3rd for the first session, and the evening launches on the second session. jinlintarot.com. If you'd like to learn healing energy and how to work with the astral body and how to feel the astral body turning and moving, check out my website if you'd like to register. It's in Portland, Oregon again. And in the confirmation email, make sure, like if you don't get a confirmation email, check your junk folder because sometimes it'll go into junk. It's an automated email. It has the discount code for the hotel and the addresses and everything in it.
It's an awesome seminar.
I saw a question in the chat. Yes. Zeke is Braxy's brother. They were in the same litter. So that litter of 11 puppies had Zeke and Braxy in it. So yes, they're siblings.
Yeah, so they're asking also, Becca, about grand tableaus. If you guys have not seen her grand tableaus on her channel that she's been doing, they're good for a year. You need to go back and watch the Musk one and the Shane Copeland, all of them.
It'll be under the live because I do those. So when you go to my YouTube page, click on the live tab and you'll see all the GTs there because those are much easier to do live than record and then trying to upload an hour and a half, 2 hour video.
And you had a revisit one where you went back through like Trump's and some others. So they were asking if you were going to do any more grand tableaus. You're almost out of people to do them on. It's like, oh, who's next?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, I should. I was going to do one on Mike Johnson, but I was doing this whole thing. So I didn't have time. And then by the time
I think you did a Mike Johnson.
I did one, but I don't know if it's still current. Hold on. Let me check my notes.
He kept showing up in everybody else's, like the speaker was aware of what was going on. His secret with Trump.
I can tell you when I did his. Mark Meadows, Jim Jordan, McCarthy, Scott Perry, Mo Brooks, Ginny Thomas, Steve Bannon, McConnell, Ted Cruz.
Someone asked for a Leonard Leo tableau.
That one would be interesting. Yeah, so Mike Johnson's is expired. I did his October 25th of 2023. So he would be due for another one.
So it's really interesting about the certification tomorrow. We've got 21 states that on the website for the government that shows which states have submitted and how many electoral college votes for Harris versus Trump. We have like 21 states that are not showing received. And I don't know if that means they just haven't updated their system because of the holidays, as Lori was talking about before we went live, or if they're not received, like they've got a problem. So can we ask?
Friday. Yeah.
Can we ask, is there a problem with the electoral college votes being received? Let's get that way.
Let's do it. Electoral votes being received. Oh, my first card, you guys.
Ooh. Mine's like me, like it's 50-50.
Oh, I got that one underneath. So I asked if there was a problem. I didn't ask what the problem was, or if we were going to have a problem tomorrow. I just asked if there was a problem receiving.
Yeah, me too. Because that was my next question. How's it going to go tomorrow?
Okay.
What did you get, Lori? I had everybody muted so I can do cards.
Oh, okay. All right. So yes, I got that there was an entry error or issue. Yeah. Jen, you and I always do.
Same cards.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And then I got that just like you had that one. Yep. Down. That, they hadn't had a problem before, but then up at the top, I've got the moon card. So there is some discrepancies, or maybe there was just some glitches. And then my outcome card is yes, there absolutely was a problem. I didn't ask, like we said, we didn't ask what it was. I just was going for a yes or no.
There was a problem with something that was offered, something that needed to be given.
Okay.
Issues with confusion and uncertainty, and stuff was missing or taken away.
Huh.
So
I'm getting like they're still working on it, but the votes are cattywampus. Pinnacles for me are votes, but they don't have them all. It's this is a 50-50 card, so if there's 21 missing, that's about 50% of the states, right?
Wait, I thought we had 81 states, Jen.
Oh, yeah, according to
all 81
according
states.
to Lara Trump.
She did not.
Space. There's like they're having to return some, and they're waiting. So let's ask, how is the certification going to go? They've got this. Thank you, Creative Vision. They got this big winter storm. They got 21 states or 21 states that they haven't received them on. MTG's freaking out saying, oh, they're going to try to block the certification. How's certification going tomorrow?
The only thing they're going to block is her blockhead. She's a blockhead.
Thank you, Terry, for posting the questions.
And so we're asking, how does it go tomorrow? Smooth, not smooth? go through smoothly. The certification of votes, right?
Right. The electoral college votes.
Electoral college votes. Will go smooth. Certification. Smooth without a problem. And Harris has to be there for that, right?
Yes.
Okay, there's still a problem. At first, there's still a problem. I got the Ace of Swords is on its side, and that's the victory sword. That's Excalibur, whatever you want to call it. Oh, gosh. Yeah, so there's either a change of time, this usually means, like if you're going, if you're taking a flight somewhere, there's usually a flight schedule adjustment or something, My outcome card.
Well, they've got
The thief.
I've got that on the bottom. Stolen.
So what does that mean? Break it down for a non-tarot reader here.
It means that something is hidden or taken or a maneuver. This is where you outsmart your opponent or you outwit your opponent or it's the thief card. I mean, the most negative connotation to the Seven of Swords is the pickpocket, the thief, the running away with something. And not only are you taking what you've got in your hands, you're going to set them down and go back and get the two you can't even hold, like returning to the scene of the crime. But the most positive aspect of it is somebody outsmarting somebody, like using the most creative wit and intelligence and, like sneaking around the dinosaur to steal the egg, so this is really something. I don't even know if we're going to get to know all of this. What do you guys have?
Well, what's her name? Denson, the one that left the Midas Touch and started her own thing.
Jessica.
She's been doing marches all weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and tomorrow, trying to get him to do 14th Amendment to not put him in office. I get there's something unfinished about this because the leader is treasonous. I do get there's some illumination on agreements that makes everybody nervous and may have to do with Russia and Russian spies. This is a spy card. There's a big problem.
Wow.
And there is talk about Trump and whether they should throw him out.
It's going to be very difficult to appoint the executive.
Wow.
The bear would be your executive. The cross is your pain and suffering and burden, difficulties. And then there's the achievement. It's going to be very difficult for them to achieve putting him in power. So if you read it across, power, burden, achieved. See what I'm saying? So it's like it's going to be very difficult to get him in.
Power, difficult, what?
And then achievement, like arriving there, like getting there. So it's very difficult to get him in.
Oh.
So maybe
let's ask it this way. Will Trump ultimately be certified? Let's ask it that way.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Or there are going to be a bunch of objections. Well, I think, Republicans are catching wind that there's going to be problems because, MTG and a bunch of them are talking about that they think Dems will try to block Trump from getting in.
Will Trump be certified tomorrow?
Will Trump ultimately get certified tomorrow? There's a big surprise tomorrow.
There is something. I've got some sort of a surprise or announcement or something. Because when I ask if he's going to be certified, I come out with the Queen of Pentacles at the top. That is not a male getting certified. And that's not a yes. That means somebody could throw a cog in the wheel.
The thief in unfinished work again. There's a surprise power play. Big problems. Trying to block him, restrict him. Wow.
I gotta know. The man, the dog, the mice. A man whose loyalty is diminished, a man whose trustworthiness is diminished, a man who doesn't have any allies, man who has allies that are thieves and corrupt criminals. It's like, if I were to just read this simply, he can't be trusted.
Well, we already know that.
Yeah, the guy incited an insurrection and stole classified documents.
But this is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
This is like tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So let's ask this. Will there be some sort of official announcement on election interference tomorrow? This is crazy.
Batten down the hatches, man. I can't even. I mean, unless it's something that we don't know about, or they just say something to. I mean, and then so why would Blockhead be bitching? What is she bitching about? That we're going to try to keep her from getting. Why? If they think everything's going to go smoothly, what does she know that we don't know?
Well, it's like they're catching wind of talks that Democrats are having.
Like, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Will there be an official announcement on election interference tomorrow?
Announcement on, you guys go first. Will there be an official announcement on election interference?
That's a no on the bottom. Hang on. Or that there's something mysterious and funky going on. Thievery again. A surprise.
Getting a malefic action and a delay. Like, I'm just getting a delay. I'm not getting so much. There's speculation. There's all kinds of speculation. And malicious intent and speculation around that, but waiting for something to come in, waiting. And so maybe I get delay. What have you guys got?
I get the same thing where there's a disruption and then a waiting period before we get what we desired. So it's almost like for election interference, that's going to be a minute before everything is recorded properly with evidence to support in courts of law. There is evidence on disruptions and interference, but it's going to take a while. So perhaps this is like 14th Amendment sort of stuff that keeps him out of office tomorrow, because the 14th Amendment, he's completely disqualified himself, so I'm just saying.
Whatever it is, I get Trump's strength changes. In other words, he's losing strength, and there's a big old fight and a lot of anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with that, Becky. I'm with Becca with that waiting for the fruit to ripen on the vine and the delay. So I don't think there is an announcement about election interference. I think
They're
it's something
saying
else.
they're saying in the chat that all the federal buildings are due to be closed tomorrow because of the snowstorms. I didn't get the clouds in that reading. That would be like bad weather, but that's what I keep seeing in the chat, that they're saying that all federal buildings and everything is going to be closed tomorrow because of the storms.
Well, let's ask it that way. Let's ask, will the certification be delayed because of the weather? Let's ask it that way.
Because hell froze over?
Because hell froze over and didn't want Trump in.
Talk about cattywampus. Okay. Will the count be delayed because of bad weather? Yes or no?
I'm going to do mine real quick, Jenny, and then I got to step out because the baby's right outside this door crying.
Okay.
I heard her.
They might use the weather as an excuse, but ultimately it's to keep him out of office. So there's the danger, cutting him out and disputing it. So if it's weather, they're going to, oh, look, the weather, nope, can't certify. Meanwhile, they're still trying to figure out. I mean, they don't have much to figure out. You know, the guy disqualified himself, but.
Yeah, it's like a maybe 2-day delay. Thank you, Summerland. It's like a 2-day delay, like some kind of announcement on a 2-day delay. Like they've already decided this in the past. Like, yeah, we're going to blame it on the weather. We'll have to return to do this, but it's a surprise. There's going to be people fighting this. You know what's really funny? Well, go ahead, Lori. Well, that's my storm card. So
yeah, I have it too.
So they may say because of the storm.
They may say, just please, Biden may come on and say, have everybody have patience or perseverance. Yeah, I got that one.
The winter storm. Yeah. The winter storm. Not everybody can make it in.
You would think that this storm isn't a surprise. I mean, like they knew it was coming. It's been forecast for 4 or 5 days. So I think
since New Year's.
But there is, I mean, when I look at our place in this Celtic cross, it's the tower. So, I mean, there's some shocking stuff. That this isn't going to be play nice energy. Some things, like you said, cattywampus.
I'm trying to think of how else to ask it.
The dispute about the problem. No, because it's not going to get resolved. What?
And they've got former President Carter lying in state.
Yeah, and Trump doesn't want the flag at half staff. Like,
yeah.
What the hell? It's his problem. He's such an asshole. Sorry.
I want to ask about the certification because it's funny because I always think of DC as they've got snowplows and equipment and stuff.
Sure do.
And all these Senate and House people, they can afford a hotel nearby, to stay at if they need to. But if it's blizzard-like conditions, that's another story.
We could ask if it goes if the certification will go through in 48 hours or 72 hours.
That way. Okay. Will they finish certification within 48 hours?
48 hours of the delay time.
So like by December 8th.
By what?
January 8th.
January. 8th.
I'm still in December, sorry.
Well, they go ahead with the certification within 48 hours of cancellations, January 8th. Will it go through by then? I keep hearing the word stuck, like something is stuck. I don't know if that's weather stuck or a machine is stuck.
Or the electoral college votes can't get there because of the weather. They were supposed to be there by Friday, the 3rd. Here's a big change coming.
What do you?
Wheel of Fortune.
Okay.
Yeah, they already announced that there was interference by Russia.
Yeah, I'm still just getting that they're trying to push it through. It's not. Holy cow. Something ends and there's a new beginning. So, I got the death card as my outcome card, Jen.
That's a big change.
It is a big change, and I feel like there is an announcement here that I got these 2 females again that I keep getting. Okay, see?
A change that's burdensome.
So we were asking yes or no if it goes through. So the death card could be, well, it could be the end of waiting, but that's not really. Will it be resolved in a positive way? Should I ask that? Something comes to an end. That is, holy man, this is a rat's nest right here. Two females. So it could be part of that Avril Haines, and then there's a deputy of one of the other alphabet groups that has medium brown hair that could make an announcement. In 48 hours, so by January 8th, will there be a good resolution to this problem? Will there be a good resolution to this electoral college problem? Look at that. My first card. This is just, what the hell?
Big delay, big delay. I'm going to ask who, and I've asked this before and I always get Kamala, but I'm going to ask again, who will be certified as the 47th president of the United States?
Okay. I feel like there will be some sort of resolution, but something like you said with Russia will be announced as well. Because I've got the Empress card.
It's interesting because, like, before Christmas, the states voted on the 17th their electoral college votes, and then they're supposed to send them into DC. And from what I had been reading, before making any big announcement, they needed those electoral college votes in hand at the National Archives in federal hands before they challenged anything. And if there's 21 states that haven't sent them in.
All right. So your actual question was,
who's going to be certified as the 47th president of the United States? I'm going back to that. See how the energy is on it. I'm grounding so as not to project my bias into the cards. Who will be certified?
Be certified.
Maybe it's not certified. Maybe it's just handed over. Who will be certified as the 47th president?
Or grabbed or stolen or grabbed.
Of the United States.
If Biden had to stay in, he still remains 46, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he has to stay a little longer because something's going on.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Tell me. Oh, my outcome card.
What was that, Lori? What was that?
The high priestess. The keeper of secrets.
Okay, so what does that mean?
That's like, it may seem like it's one person when it's someone else. Or
look at these cards. Blocked, constricted, endings, betrayals. Like, could I get any more swords, negative swords in here? Oh, yeah, anxiety. Holy crap. Not accepting what's on the table to certify treachery.
Yeah.
And then changing who gets the votes.
Yeah, I got that night too. But that could very well be, well, what has Becca got?
I got that there's a delay and there's some sort of perhaps electoral college or a committee or something like that where there's a large body of people and the burden falls on them. So it's almost, but there's a delay though.
Well, you know what's interesting? They were saying like to me, Biden should just stay there, until it's resolved. But they were saying that Chuck Grassley would actually, as third in line, would actually take over the presidency until someone is certified. Well, Chuck Grassley's in his 90s.
He's 91. And I could see him as maybe having to pull up from the rear here, like to just steady the thing. Because whoever, this will change. It's like, because due to all this craziness.
All right, let's ask this: will Chuck Grassley have to be an acting president until this is resolved? Like, will this go until January 20th? They didn't want an old man as president. Let's put the 91-year-old in there. Chuck Grassley. God,
I thought it would go to the Speaker of the House. I thought.
Go ahead, Jen.
I thought it would go to the Speaker of the House, and then it would go to the Senate.
That's if something happened to the president. It goes to the vice president and then Speaker of the House. But apparently, with certifying the votes, it would go to the Senate Majority Leader tempore, or whatever they call it, where he's
tempore.
Tempore. That's Chuck Grassley. Tempore.
Did I say that right, or am I thinking of food?
So the question is, will Chuck Grassley temporarily be president?
Temporarily be president. Oh, Lord Jesus, please.
Now this is getting crazy. May have to go live tomorrow night and say, what the hell? I'll be watching C-SPAN tomorrow, that's for sure.
What? Will Senator Chuck Grassley be acting president tomorrow or the next day?
I gotta know. He's a liar, not trustworthy, a traitor.
Fits
I don't
right
even-
in.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
he
even
was
know
going
who Grassley is, because there's the moon. He's got a big reputation, but he's a liar. He's trouble, traitor.
Yes, he is.
So I can't even picture who Chuck Grass. I'm going to Google that while you
If
guys.
you saw, yeah,
The
you'll
old-
go, oh yeah, that
the old guy from Iowa. I get they're going to get the vote done before then, so I don't get that
Yeah,
Grassley will set in like they get an agreement,
like they're
in
still
the vote.
working on it. Yeah.
but I get the Republicans are like separated from the White House.
We could ask, how will the Democrats feel at the end of the day tomorrow, or how will the Republicans feel at the end of or whatever you want to ask. But this is
There's big problems in an investigation too.
So let's go with Lori's question, which was, how are the Democrats going to be feeling tomorrow?
by the end of the day,
Okay.
by the end of this, whatever it is,
Certification.
process, weirdness. How will the Democrats feel by the end of the day tomorrow night, Monday, January 6th?
Maybe Jimmy Carter in spirit there, messing it all up for Trump. He's lying in state right there.
Yeah, saying over my dead body. We're waiting for something still. A report, an article, a piece of paper. We're waiting and watching. And we're still they're waiting for a document or something, and something's been tarnished by Russia. That problem.
I asked how they would be feeling by the end of the week.
Oh, by the end of the week. Okay.
Because of the bad weather. So I don't know if they're even going to be, because they were saying in the chat that all the federal buildings are closed. So I asked for the end of the week. They're feeling very very passionate about people that are not trustworthy in their bodies. So like the House or the Senate, they're on the lookout for snakes in the garden. But overall, optimistic, but realistic about it at the same time, if that makes sense. So dog, scythe, heart, garden, and snakes. So certain people that they can't trust, people that are allies that are actually enemies, that are dangerous, and they feel very passionate about what they're doing, but with an eye on the traitors. Does that make sense?
That's not good. Yeah. Okay. Because snake is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, there's subterfuge going on. It's like they're waiting to celebrate.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is going to grow. They're concerned about, so they're kind of hanging on. They're concerned about how America is going to take this. But I get that they use the law to stand on higher ground and to illuminate everything that Trump has done. Stealing, shifting votes. There's going to be big meetings on this.
How will the Democrats? Oh, there's Becky. Look at Becky. Oh my God, she's so huge. How will the Democrats feel by the end of the week
Big Braxy.
about this?
She looks bigger now. Every day. She's got a bigger head than mommy's. Well, Mark Rutte, or however you say his name, Rutte, for the head of NATO, was supposedly at Camp David over the weekend with Biden.
Really?
Our little pony, our little black pony.
I did ask how we would be feeling by the end of the week. Something gives us hope. Something is there that gives us hope. Now, are we just wishing upon a star? But there's definitely a problem with Russia. All the readings that I did the last week and the week before said keep your eye on Putin and Russia, because he's so that's what I'm getting. And that it will be still messages coming in fast.
Still information. So Friday, Mershon is sentencing Trump.
Oh, that's right.
What?
Right? Friday, January 10th.
I have not been on any news. I am in the dark. I have no idea what's going on. Repeat that again, because that was music to my ears.
Friday, Judge Mershon in New York is going to be sentencing Trump. So, because the election is over, now, my gut tells me he'll do some kind of dismissive, give him community service as a president, right?
He isn't going to have jail time or any type of sentence. But
or he could sentence him and say, pending when you're out of office, your jail, like 2020, your prison time will start January 21st of 2029.
Right, but the main thing he wanted to stress was that a jury of your peers have found you guilty of felonies, and you will have these felonies attached to your name, like it or not.
So how is the sentencing going to go? Because Trump's got to be there for sentencing. He's got to be there in person.
He can do a Zoom
for sentencing.
Yep, I just heard it. He's allowed to do Zoom.
Wouldn't it be nice if everybody that's convicted of felons could do it by Zoom and then get away on your private jet to some other country?
They're saying in the chat that Mershon has already come out and said that he's not giving him jail time. But
he is not. Yeah, he is not. He said he wasn't. No. There will be no jail time. No, he's not going to be on parole. I mean, on what do you call it? He's not going to be on.
He's not going to have a probation officer.
No probation. Yeah, nothing like that. But he is.
What's the point? What's the point?
What's the point? He was convicted by a jury of peers.
And he will have felon. He will be the first president-elect, or so they say, as a felon. He will have that.
Well, he walked into the convention as a convicted felon.
Yes, he did.
He was elected as president as a convicted felon.
So what's the question?
I kind of wanted to look to see how this would go on the 10th.
How it will go. Yeah, that day. Friday the 10th.
Maybe from America's perspective, or I mean, most people think, okay, that's letting him get away with it. Maybe from Trump's perspective. Let's see.
Luigi, run for president. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, there you go. That would get him out of trouble.
34 felon counts.
Well, they're going to appeal. They try to stop. They try to shut him up. They try to stop it.
The Senate, they're saying in New York, you're not a felon until you're sentenced. So,
okay.
But he was guilty on 34 counts.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if there's going to be bad weather because I get the clouds. But the sentencing here will be made public, but it's via a phone call or some sort of a meeting on some sort of a public platform for him. It's still going to go through, but I don't know if there's still bad weather, but it'll be a public record. Public record for him that, he's. So maybe with this, maybe it's like some sort of community service or something, which
I don't think he's getting that either.
What's he going to do? Have Walt Nauta do his community service? I mean, the guy.
I think Nauta gets out too because he'll just pardon him. But it will be made a spectacle. It's a start. It's going to actually go well somehow. Not, for Trump, but for it will go. It'll be okay.
It may be part of what helps move Kamala into the White House. Having this announced that, yes, he's a convicted felon and, he can't pass a security clearance as a convicted felon. Illumination on the loser brings change and may help Kamala get into the White House. So
I cannot believe it. I so much as get a traffic ticket, a parking ticket, and my clearance gets revoked. This SOE.
Yeah, we all feel the same way. We've been in shock.
Yeah. A convicted felon who was pending 3 more criminal federal felony trials. One of them for the Espionage Act. And here you go.
His MAGA followers just don't care. They all think that Biden, that Trump should arrest Biden on day one. They all think that Biden's a criminal. They all were like shocked that Hillary got the presidential medal this weekend.
Dude, I don't even.
Pissed them off, along with Liz Cheney.
Oh my gosh.
It's hard. I mean, we're still all reeling from the January 6th, the flying monkeys that stormed the Capitol, that they've gone to jail, that the senators that were in on it and the House representatives that were in on it have not. Scott Perry, I mean, the tours, his phone, everything. What? Nothing? Nothing.
The Capitol Police Sitnik that was killed unalived on January 6th, his father and his brother have been at these marches this weekend saying, do not put this man in and give him, the power of our military and stuff.
I mean, right. I do not and cannot wrap my head around how an entire political party has been commandeered by a, pardon my French, shit for brains felon. They're willingly going along with it.
It's still bending themselves into pretzels, like the most twisted pretzels, to do anything for him.
Sit there and talk and dare lecture the rest of us on the importance of our standing on the national stage. Who the F do you think you are? Like you've made us the laughing stock of the globe. following a convicted felon off a bridge.
And then if they pardon all of those Jan 6ers, I mean,
don't sit here and lecture any of us on patriotism when this is the shit you're rolling in, and you're rolling out the red carpet for them too.
that means your favorite Stewie will get out.
One-eyed Stewie.
If we as Democrats did the same thing, they'd have us all thrown in jail.
Yeah.
We'd be lucky if we went to jail and not unalived another way.
Yeah. So, Trump even was, I think, catching wind that he may not get the electoral college votes. He thinks, the Dems are up to something. He's now doing a rally on January 19th, the day before.
Because he wants to have a parade.
Oh God! Remember when he wanted the military parade when he was on?
But his parade should be on Inauguration Day on the 20th. And he also doesn't want the flag at half-staff while he's got his little parade. So January 20th, will the flag be at half-staff still for Jimmy Carter? That'll tell me that whether Trump's in the White House or not. He doesn't like the flag being at half-staff.
I keep getting that even if he did get in, he wouldn't live at the White House. He'd stay at
Mar-a-Lago. I swear, I think he'll try to do a fake swearing in, like get Roberts or somebody to come down to Mar-a-Lago and swear him in.
All right. Will the flag still be at half-staff?
Staff on January 20th.
My first card. Someone will change it.
My first card, too.
Someone's going to change it.
Well, trying to. But I'm getting Kamala at the root of this. And this is a legacy thing, where you honor the former president.
There's going to be a group protesting.
It's like just all hell breaking loose.
What you got, Becca?
Yes. Mountain Book Moon. Yeah.
Mountain Book Moon?
Mm-hmm.
What is moon? I forget.
It's recognition, fame.
Moon is? Okay.
Yeah, it's not the same as in tarot. So it's recognition, it's fame, it's creativity, your feelings, that sort of stuff. There's a project in the works on how to delay or block something in secret. So it's a block and a delay in secret, or a project that's being worked on. And then there's still recognition and fame. So I get a yes.
I get a yes too, but with someone trying to hijack it.
Because why not,
So
because they're bored.
Jenny, I don't know if you had this on your questions. I just remembered. I saw something on TikTok a few days ago that Elon Musk has moved into Mar-a-Lago. Is that on your questions?
He went to cottage there.
He moved in. They're freaking bunk buddies now, my friend.
Holy crap.
He's on the grounds.
Yeah, he's living there. That's what I had seen, that he has moved in to Mar-a-Lago.
JD Vance had sinus surgery. He probably blew his nose out the same way Trump did. What? I want to go back to this January 19th rally, and then we'll do some of these others. January 19th, Trump's having a rally the day before his inauguration. Is it because he's afraid he won't be inaugurated? Is he trying to is it another move to try to speed things up?
Another
And
January 6th sort of.
another January 6th, get people all crazy. And
So what's the question? Why is he having a rally on the 19th?
why is he having a rally January 19th?
Why is Trump having a rally on the 19th?
Is that to keep Kamala from going into the White House? All these I keep putting these swords back in separately in my deck. They're all coming out again. That's his legacy, to fight and get people riled up and emotional and lie to them, gaslight, get them all erratic, maybe even unalive some people. That's his goal.
What'd you get, Jen? I'm sorry, I was muted.
He wants to get everybody all riled up, emotional, through lies, get them all riled up. He wants another January 6th, get them, maybe even get some people unalived, attack them, confuse everything, maybe so he can try to declare martial law on his first day as president.
What did you
He wants
get?
everybody riled up.
He is going there to have that parade to proclaim that the presidency is his. And this is in a maneuver because he knows there's incoming. He knows it. He knows there's incoming messages. So he's trying to get there before the emperor has his say, like to preemptively make this speech or a preemptive maneuver to get there before.
So to manipulate the narrative is what you're saying.
Yes. And to shake it up and to get his people, the bad, the people that are addicted to him there. Yes. And it's going to be very unshaped. It's going to be unsteady ground. Sorry.
I get to get his supporters very, very passionate and angry. There's desire, there's emotions, there's anger. So these are all feeling cards. So get him really riled up, very passionate, and do his bidding for him, the loyalist. Here you have the very passionate and angry loyalist to do his bidding. Do you see what I'm saying? So and it's also for his own narcissistic supply. Look how much they love me. Look, I'm so great. They try to defeat me, but this time we won. And these people are so
trying to steal it from me.
So effing stupid. So you mean to tell me that the Democrats cheated in 2020, but somehow we forgot to cheat in 2024?
Right. And this is like to counter something that's being said.
Yeah.
So how will his crowd size be January 19th?
Not down to peanut size. Remember, the Jan 6ers haven't been pardoned yet, so they're all still in jail. So everybody better mind their P's and Q's.
Those that have been caught and tried.
Right. Well, Stewie's.
One-eyed Stewie Rhodes, he's still in jail.
All the militia people.
Peanut butter boys.
For entertainment purposes only.
And for new viewers, yes, we have some code names for these people because YouTube doesn't like us saying them.
Okay, so tell me the question again. I'm sorry. Oh,
What will the crowd size be like on January 19th for Trump's
Thank you,
rally?
Terry. How will Trump's crowd size be January 20th?
A lot of his supporters are at work. There's an abundance of supporters and loyalists, but there's work here. There's also some suspicion around these people as well. So, and the crowd size itself could also be manipulated to where it looks like there's a lot of people. This is abundance. There's the support, an abundance of support, but almost like it's fake.
Yeah, his growth is in the past. He can't get new followers.
This would be shopping for work or being paid for work. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps actors of some sort, Craigslist ads, that sort of thing. But it's shady. At the end of the day, whatever you see in the crowd size, it can't be trusted because it's manipulated. Does that make sense?
It's been
like
so
the AI
manipulated.
They AI the crowd size. They definitely
there's nothing truthful about it. Nothing.
Manipulate it here. I mean, that's his legacy, to try to make it look bigger than it is. His growth is in the past. He can't get growth, again.
Everything about him is fake. Everything to the hair on his head.
There's going to be illumination on how small it is. That people aren't returning, and the ones that are there are quite erratic. So you might see some arrests. They're immature.
You see fighting?
I don't see fighting. I just get the erratic.
You're seeing a couple of fights, Lori?
A couple scuffles. Yeah, it's in the hopes and fears. But this is all like don't look, and they don't want to admit what's really happening. Like we all know. It's like he didn't win the popular vote. Hello. There's no way. There's no people that are there.
They're probably also blocked out of the pay to pray $100,000 with Trump. They're locked out of the church too.
and not just, and to your point, Lori, he didn't win the popular vote. There's no way in hell the son of a bitch won all 7 swing states either. I will die on that hill. Put me on the guillotine. There's no way this man won the election.
I tell you, my gut feeling was he was under 50 million votes before the election. Like there's no way he got over 50 million votes. He's pissed too many people off.
There is nothing about this crowd that is correct. Like there's not like this is the worst misinformation, cheating, lying,
bad reality TV show, Lori.
Yes. There's nothing real.
No. This guy, he views his life through the lens of a television screen. So long as he's the one manufacturing it, then it's reality. Like the rest of us are stupid enough to see that and be like, yeah, that totally checks out. No way. He gaslight. He even sucks at gaslighting is how bad he is. Like Lori was saying, just a bad TV show. Like,
so when Kamala gets in, and I'm going to say when, not if, you can phrase it however you want in your head. When she gets in, will there be a huge crowd turnout to support her? Crowd of joy.
After an earthquake.
I got a yes. People are committed to that union, the promise. People are committed and are wanting to achieve what she has promised, what she is committed to. Like they're not, it's like moving a mountain. These people are not going anywhere. So, but yes, it's like there's the commitment, the agreement, the promise that's achieved that she has to answer to. So it's almost like the promise goes to her and she has the backing for it. Does that make sense?
I like the promise and the ring and the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get everybody loves it. There's healing with Biden transitioning Kamala in, and everything is secure for her to take the job. So there might be some craziness before she assumes the position, but when she actually does, I get there's a lot of support.
What did you get in your read, Lori?
At the cross at the beginning of this is just a giant earthquake and lie and explosive. And
so with those two cards, Lori, with the moon and the tower, could that be like all the deception that they've been doing gets boom, just blows up?
Yes, but it doesn't, not at first. It has to come with power in the hand and the wand that comes after. So it takes a while, but it is that whole facade falling apart. Yeah.
Thank you, Linda.
Putin. I don't know. Can I say this one thing really fast? I feel like Putin is so pissed at Trump for something. I don't know what, except he's being left out and he doesn't, Elon Musk is making all the Teslas in China. So I feel like Putin's feeling like he's left out and he may whack DJT. I mean, for entertainment purposes only, but
he did make a very thinly veiled threat. Like, you relied on certain people to help you win. You better pay up.
You owe us. He got his spokesman to say that. Thank you, Jam.
When was that?
That was a couple days
right after the election.
Yeah. The election that was called within a few hours, as if that's not suspicious. Yeah.
One of the oligarchs in Russia said, you owe us.
I think Putin's right-hand man made that public statement that, you relied on certain factors to help you win this election. You're on the hook to pay.
Thank you, Mary Jo.
Maybe Putin allows something to get seen.
Well, I mean, he did air Melania's naked pictures all over Russian television.
Like, that doesn't add up.
Yep, the PP tape. We still haven't seen that.
I don't want to see it. I want to hear it.
I don't want to see it either. But Putin and his news that he controls, putting all the naked photos of Melania on. That was crazy.
And Putin has made public statements before in his press conferences in Russia, telling Trump that he's in danger, that there's people that are going to try to unalive him. And I'm like, oh, so you're talking about yourself? So it's not. I personally don't want him to get unalived, not because of the goodness of my heart. It's because I want to see the son of a bitch pay. That's it. Not because I'm a Mother Teresa, but if he does find his way out of a window, I'm not going to cry either. You know what I mean? So
let's ask this and then we'll get back to Shane Copeland. Why did Elon Musk move in with him at Mar-a-Lago?
I saw that and I was like, are you kidding me? I think he's paying what, like $2,000 a day? Yes. $2,000 a day to live in Mar-a-Lago?
Which is nothing because he makes millions a day.
Billions, those two are sticking together like this because they're criminals in that did the criming in unison. So they're not letting each other out of each other's sights in case one says something.
Because they can't trust each other.
Nope.
They can't trust.
Nope. So why did Elon Musk move into Mar-a-Lago? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Musk moved into Mar-a-Lago.
It can't be for all those haggy looking women that have had way too much plastic surgery and look gross.
Oh. Mm-mm.
I just had the tower fly out of the deck. Like, why did he move in? Because you know what's about to hit the fan?
The caca.
Thank you, Liz. Mary Jo.
And when it does, put that fan on high, baby. Let that crap sling everywhere. Get them all. Oh, man. What was the name of that?
Splatter it everywhere.
That one comedian that used to smash food.
What's his name? Smash the watermelons. Not Garfinkel. What was his name?
Do you remember what his name was?
Yes.
He used to smash.
I can see him. Y'all help me with his name in the chat.
He looked like Garfunkel. He had the hair down here.
Gallagher.
Thank you.
Gallagher. It's gonna be like one of those Gallagher shows where you're just gonna have to be wearing. If you're in the splash zone, you're gonna.
Except it's gonna be a giant hammer going into a pile of shit.
If you're in the splash
it's like take a hammer to one of Trump's old nasty diapers and it's going everywhere on the walls.
Oh my God.
Move into Mar-a-Lago.
Beware the splash zone, people.
The splash zone.
Oh,
get the pool boy out to Oliveira, the one that's got his.
Does Musk have anything to lose from losing Putin if they cut? Because his main concern is China. So what does he lose? That's what I've got to look at. What does he lose if he outs?
Well, wasn't there a report about a month or so ago? I think it was right after the election or right before the election that Trump was being blackmailed by Russia. Am I remembering that correctly? But I don't think they ever said why. They just said that he was being blackmailed.
Showing the nude pictures of Melania on their network TV and stuff. That screams like, okay, it can get worse, if he's blackmailing. China is paying for some of the weapons that Russia is using. So pissing off Russia could piss off China.
So why did Muskie Rat move to Mar-a-Lago? He's homeless.
Yeah, he's like away from his harem. Like he had to leave the harem because someone's mad at him or something.
Yeah, he's out of a house. He's homeless. I'm getting to be in on all that's being said, all the meetings, all the conversations, all the negotiations that are being made, all the stuff, important stuff about when he gets into the White House, even though if this is the White House, there's the old historical home. That's a dead end. You ain't going there. But why did he move in? To keep tabs on what's being said, who's going to meetings, who knows what, who said what. It's to keep tabs on all these people.
Absolutely, because he's nervous that somebody's going to blab about the plan. He wants to hear the messages that about the plan, what's being said, and like nip it in the bud. Because there's unfinished work right now because Trump's not in the White House yet. But he also is trying to steal some attention away from Trump. He doesn't get enough attention, living on his own. He likes the attention he's getting living at Mar-a-Lago.
And I agree. I think, when Bezos went there, they said that he was C blocking.
Cock blocking?
For entertainment purposes only. Yeah. So that's, I feel like, yeah, he's just trying to make sure he has such low self-esteem. So he's like trying to keep out anybody that wants to get in on the, like you said.
They were saying in the chat that he crashed a dinner between Trump and Bezos.
He did.
He did?
Yeah. That's why they were calling it cock blocking.
But he crashed Notre Dame cathedrals,
Oh,
you know.
That's right. And then they got into that little spat and he walked off like, oh my God, what a freaking embarrassment. Like, here's the two toddlers that are not well behaved, just and I don't even think Trump was invited to the Notre Dame thing. What the hell is he doing sitting in church when the son of a bitch has never even cracked open a Bible before? Last time he held one, it was upside down and backwards. You know, like it's just, and what an embarrassment on the world stage. These two throwing a fit, nobody wanting to sit around Trump, people going like this behind Trump. Elon Musk is throwing a fit over there. I'm just like, what a disaster. This is the worst TV show ever.
It is.
Ever.
So I'll give Musk a little bit more brains than Trump, because Trump's stupid, I think.
Well, so is Musk.
Musk is too, but does Musk have an inkling that something's getting ready to happen to block Trump from the White House? Does Musk think they're on to us? Because they raided Shane Copeland, your buddy.
They were all sitting at the table.
They're all sitting there at the table together.
Just Musk protecting Trump because he thinks something's about ready to hit the fan.
Musk, maybe he's out of his own home because he thinks, oh, I'm safer over here at Mar-a-Lago with all the other people that are going to get arrested.
Yeah. It's exactly
the other thing with Musk is he wants the network of drug abusers. Like, how's he getting his drugs? That Mar-a-Lago gives him that in spades.
So you have one guy that's completely demented with his brains literally oozing out of his ear, and then his sidekick is high on drugs all the time to where he doesn't even know what the hell is going on. What a pair. What a pair. So does he suspect that Trump won't get in? No, he has no idea.
He has no idea.
That it's settled, it's done, it was promised, and we're going to be rewarded. That's it. That's it. It's a done deal. We're getting in. That's it.
He's clueless.
He has no suspicions at all.
We got this. He's clueless. It's secure. We just got to get a couple of more weeks and we're in. Be working every day to cut that Social Security on everybody.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine if Muskrat talked Trump into putting one of those chips into his brain? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what a disaster that would be? I mean, I'm here for it, but
if I only had a brain.
Can you imagine they're going to go in and be like, wait, there's no brain to put one in. But they said you just put the chip there and it's just floating around.
Wait, it's falling out his ear. Stick it back in.
He's back in the corner.
Yeah, he's over in the corner, like playing with the remote control. Oh my God.
Making him dance.
Like
the jerk off camels. I can jerk two camels at once.
Wasn't he like obsessed with putting chips in people's brains for a while, and they were doing it on all these animals and they were killing them, and then that one guy like volunteered for it? But like, can you imagine if he talked Trump? He's like, dude, I'll give you a super brain, you'll have superpowers, and Trump's like, okay, and then he puts his brain, put in his brain,
It's
Oh,
called
that would be
worldling.
amazing.
He already thinks he has superpowers, just because his uncle went to MIT. He thinks he's super smart.
He does. I did get that Elon is trying to protect something. He's afraid. He has fear. He does have fear. But he also thinks that, like you guys said, that even if they have to use the military, that they will get in. That
Kind of hard to command the military when you're not the commander in chief, though. Dumpy pants.
They're calling one of my ornaments the Christmas tree pendulum, saying yes to the chip.
Yeah. I would pay good money to see that, dude.
Oh man.
Now I can't get the picture out of my head.
Now it's pulling in
Elon Musk in the corner playing with the remote control. Making him do the blowjob dance.
Wait. Get the Abbott in there and they can play Mario Brothers.
Oh my.
Mario Kart. Put him in the Mario Kart, Jen. Push him down a hill.
Oh my God, I can't breathe.
I'm for the brain chip. What was that thing called?
Oh, the things you could do. Oh my goodness.
Well, the Republicans in the House have a $10 million slush fund. $10 million of taxpayer paid slush fund to pay off all their sexual scandals.
Are you effing kidding me right now?
$10 million that they hold there to help pay off, hush money or whatever. $10 million, and
That's only $1 million
from our taxpayer money.
They're saying 17 million, not 10. That's what Patrick Duncan is saying. 17 million, not 10 million.
Wow. So that's how much per hoe?
Well, if it's Gates, you're talking about 20 a day.
That's not enough to go around.
And can somebody please explain to me, like I'm an idiot, where in any law does it say that Congress elected officials are allowed to use taxpayer dollars to pay off their sexual scandals?
I mean, you got Moses Mike, who monitors his son's porn, who tries to act like he's holier than thou. Oh boy, here we go.
Hi, Johnny.
He heard us talking about the Mario Brothers. He had to get in on this conversation.
the Mario Kart, because we were talking about
my go-kart.
Yeah, well, we were talking about Elon Musk putting one of those brain chips in Donald Trump, and putting them in Mario Karts and pushing them down.
I mean, he probably did put one in there already when he went and did his little field trips. I mean, how else are you going to get him to pretend to be a fry cook and a garbage man? So,
I mean,
somebody was sitting there with the little thing doing one of these.
And I couldn't
making him do this, Johnny.
They were moving Donald Trump.
Oh, Johnny, if I may, did Black Panther come in?
Yes, it did. Very much.
So that is a blanket. When Johnny was here in California, we were in Pasadena, and we were just walking around waiting to go to the magical forest, and we stopped at a store, and Johnny fell in love with that blanket. So Johnny and his friend Sterling and I went halvesies on it for Christmas for Johnny, and it almost disappeared because Clarence had one job. Clarence, you had one job and you screwed it up. So it was Sterling and I went halves on it, and she had the receipt. And 2 weeks later, Johnny still hadn't gotten his Black Panther.
It hadn't even shipped.
It hadn't even shipped. So then Sterling, who had the receipt, called, and they're like, "Oh, that's limited edition. It sold out, and it was store pickup only." And I'm like, and Clarence didn't say nothing?
Clarence told us that in the store is a display only. And so that's why we even went through the problem or trouble of trying to get it elsewhere.
Yep. But so Johnny finally got his Black Panther, and Johnny, I want you to hold it up and pet it. Does it purr? Does it purr?
It does, and it's like 5,000 pounds too. It's
Oh, really?
Is it
gigantic,
weighted?
like an elephant. What'd you say?
Is it a weighted blanket? No.
Not really. It's not supposed to be, but I mean, you can't really tell the difference. I mean, it's very heavy. It's the size
It's not
of
a
me.
throw, it's a blanket. So
Yeah,
it's
it's straight up
it's gonna
blanket.
And it's got feet pockets at the end of it too.
So you can stick your feet in there?
Oh my God.
It's
I've
lovely.
never seen anything like that.
And you never will because they don't have any more.
So yeah, that was Johnny's Christmas present from us to him. And I
You
hope
got to sleep with the air and the fan on though, because you will get hot. Like it's thick under here too. Like it's very heavy. Yes, you can't be cold with this on.
Mhm.
I love it. If I ever see Clarence though in the street, I'm pushing him down on site.
I will drive to Pasadena right now and say, Clarence, you have one job, Clarence. One
On site, I'm pushing him down. I am.
So
I'm going to step out for a second.
but hang on a second, Becca.
Oh, she's gone.
That Eric Garland that did that tweet you sent me that was talking about it took 8
you're
years
muted,
for
Becca.
foreign spies and domestic traitors to try to escape the trap that was set.
It was Eric Garland is in no way, shape, or form related to Merrick Garland. Totally
Right?
different person.
He's just an advisor in DC, right?
He's former intelligence.
Oh, he's former intelligence. Okay.
Former intelligence. And I posted the tweet on my community page for anybody that wants to go to my community page. And sorry, that's Peanut. He's making waffles. We're having waffles for dinner. So go on my community page and check, and you'll see the post right there.
It took 8 years. 8 years ago was 2016. So they've been trying to set a trap for Trump since 2016 on this foreign election interference, or been working on this trap. The tweet that he sent was in response to the new sanctions on Russia and Iran that just went out last week. So Eric Garland, does he know something about Trump that isn't public knowledge yet?
Okay.
Are you saying Eric Garland?
Yes.
Eric Garland.
ERIC?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Does he know?
Yeah, he also said this will be our finest hour. And this is a tweet he just sent out last week. Or Reddit or wherever he sent it. This will be our finest hour.
And he's former intelligence.
Former intelligence.
He knows something, but he got stuck. Or he had to hold on to it for a minute. I can say one thing. When they started this investigation, or whoever's in charge of this, they did not expect all this money from the tech brothers to land in the middle of this.
I got 6 cards, 5 are pentacles. Ain't that interesting? Does he know something? It went past the yes and kind of went into the what? So I'll say yes.
I'm going to say yes too about Trump. Loser Trump. That votes were shifted and stolen, and he has knowledge of how they've been changing and manipulating things in our election, and how they were trying to block votes also. How they, Republicans, were trying to block votes. He's just waiting on the investigator to bring it forward before he says more. He knows more. It's made him very, very anxious.
Yeah, he does, and he knows that there was a shell game, and it was terrible.
I want to get back to Shane Copeland. Shane Copeland was raided right after the election. Yeah, he's the Poly Market guy. That his map matched exactly what happened on election night, which was just, the odds of that is 1,000,000 to 1 probably. He was raided. His phone was taken. His girlfriend's phone was taken. What's going on with him? Is he? He hasn't been indicted or anything. Is he being talked to, watched? What's going on with Shane Copeland?
Will he be escorted anywhere? Interrogated?
I just read on him today too.
If they're asking him questions, then that would explain why they kind of think something's getting ready to happen.
What's happening to Shane?
Because he would be telling Musk and Trump. Got almost 4,000 in here watching tonight. Thank you, guys.
They tried to make him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Yeah.
But he's not taking it. It's being you guys have got to go because I got to hear what you say before I tell you what I got.
So earlier today, I did read on him, and I think he is indeed going to cooperate. I think he's going to hold back some names, though. He gives more information than he does names, but I think that's just more out of fear. The 10 of Cups and the 6 of Cups, this is going to be people that he's known. And in that other reading, the star stood out for me because the information he gives, I think, would say what they're doing now and what they plan to do later. And so it's more of a, well, here's the system of plans we had in place, because the nostalgia card also makes me believe he was involved some way, somehow in something in the past, maybe elsewhere, but he was involved in this kind of thing before. He didn't just pop up out of nowhere. How do you know this guy's name? How do you know to get him involved, such and such and such and such? You didn't walk up to someone in Best Buy at the Geek Squad and say, hey, do you want to overthrow an election type thing? And so there is the 5 of Pentacles and the Tower. And so I don't think he's going to have much of a choice. Well, you always have a choice. But when they press and squeeze and back you up against the wall, then what are you going to do? Are you going to cooperate, or are you going to stay where you are? Then there's the Devil, and it ends in the Chariot. So they know more than he does. And so all they're waiting for now is either cooperation or a perjury trap. So it's up to you.
Yep, I'm getting he's gonna do some backstabbing here. Right now, he's kind of fighting them a little bit, because he's in defense mode, but he's fighting it a little bit. But they already know the truth, and they also know globally what all he's been involved in. So I don't know. Maybe he was involved in Romania and Georgia and Moldova, and the other countries that Russian meddled in, and Musk has probably meddled in. He's given out some breadcrumbs, but he's got more to give. He knows more details, because he was in on the master plan of how to manipulate Kamala's votes. His strength is getting ready to change, so he's probably drinking a lot right now because he knows he's under the gun.
He's going to be. I get that he is. They're trying to pay him to keep his mouth shut, and it keeps going. They're trying to pay him to keep his mouth shut here, and it's going back and forth and back and forth and up and down and up and down. But he's going to be the star of either some sort of government trial or inquiry. He's going on the air. He's going to be sitting in the hot seat. He's going to be the star of an investigation of something.
So Biden was meeting with what's his name? Rutte, R-U-T-T-E, the head of NATO.
Rutte.
He was meeting with him at Camp David. So were they sharing information? Well, obviously, did it have to do with elections, or did it have to do with Russia and what's going on in the world?
So what
were they meeting about?
Okay.
What was discussed?
What was discussed between?
Johnny, we raised over 11,600 for World Central Kitchen New Year's Eve. Growing.
Yes. That's fantastic.
Biggest fundraiser we've had.
They definitely need it.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure.
Chef Andre just got a Freedom Medal from Biden Friday.
Oh, that's good too.
Along with Liz Cheney.
Like, you forget how much things like that mean when you're in a situation that they have to face, or that the people that they feed have to face.
Look, he's lost some very good friends in doing this. So what you getting?
I get it was about a change of leadership in America's involvement in the world and that type of thing. It's basically a conversation of uncertainty. I get with the King of Wands, that leadership there, the star card and the warning is what's going to happen in the future. And unfortunately, even if whatever works out, Joe Biden is not going to be the leader for the next 4 years. So that's still, although talking to him may give you some sort of comfort, that's not the person necessarily to talk to. And so he can't assure you that America's not going to be the stupidest and so forth and so forth. But there's still time. So, but he's talking about America and future involvement and so forth and so forth. That's what I get.
It's getting, Lori.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much time or if they got to spend together or something. There was a problem. There's an issue, and it's about the heartache and betrayal and what's happening. The heartache and the betrayal, what's happening.
What's getting, Becca?
So I did a box spread to see what the meeting was about. There's quite a bit here. Some of it has to do with our national security, perhaps something with the Department of Homeland Security, tower and house, then house, anchor, and tower, about how domestically the incoming executive, something that they stole or taking it away from him, or both. Okay. The meeting was also about, in regards to coordinated attacks and disruptions from an enemy. And the discussion was, how are they going to delay or block this again? And it's widespread. There is a lot of it, a lot of disruptions from an enemy that's funded by very, 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 very rich people. There's also a person here, a man, a pair of men that are entrepreneurs, business people that are involved somehow. One of them can own a telecommunications company with the birds and tower. The other one, it's kind of hard to see because I don't get gambling or anything like that. But there's a disruption there that comes from this person. He's disrupting the government in some way, but he's an entrepreneur as well. There's two of them, and they're extremely wealthy, Bear and Fish. So I don't know if that's Elon Musk and Peter Thiel. I'm not sure.
Or Shane Copeland.
Shane Copeland. I don't know. I can't say Shane Copeland because I don't have the clover, which would be gambling. Okay, so I'm not leaning towards him. But it's two powerful financiers that are entrepreneurs. One of them has links to a bird somewhere where you talk and communicate. The stealing and thievery was coordinated, and there's a pattern to it in conjunction with working with an enemy because the tower is here. Again, the Department of Homeland Security, and other domestic institutions.
And for those that don't know, Homeland Security is over our election integrity.
Okay. There's also something here about how they achieved the steal, Anchor and Mice, how they were able to eat away and steal something. And they did it by a lot of funding and by a lot. They talked about how to block further disruptions. There's also something here about conflict, how they're going to block conflict. There's just a lot. I mean, that's the read. There's a lot there. So off the top of my head, that's, there's something here domestically that was stolen, and a lot of disruptions, a lot of fighting, a lot of argument. But the meeting itself was, how are we going to achieve blocking this? Or how is
that's what I'm getting is that Ruda, or I wish I could remember how to pronounce his name. Ruda, I had a lot of questions for Biden about, the White House and wishes granted, changing things so that Kamala is the one at the root of this, getting into and partnering with NATO, getting the job, so to speak. There's definitely, like, how are you going to ease through this transition of blocking Trump, the liar, the thief, the manipulator, the celebrity, what are you going to do with them? And I'm also getting a businessman that betrayed the country here. So Biden's weighing everything in, but it was more like a friendly meeting where he's giving assurances. Like, that's not going to happen on our watch.
Yeah.
Johnny, were you watching earlier when we were getting all the crazy cattywampus cards for tomorrow?
No, I was
You were in your Black Panther blanket?
He was snuggling up to the Black Panther, is what he was doing.
He was in the Black Panther.
Making it purr.
Making s'mores.
So,
no, I was reading. That's what I was doing.
What is holding up the official announcement about election integrity? Like, we know, they did do one announcement and put more sanctions on Russia and Iran. But what's holding up the official this election was massively interfered with, and all the different ways that it was interfered with. What's holding up the official announcement?
What's holding up the official announcement for election interference? I feel like there's been threats to family members of the people who are part of the alphabet groups. I feel like there's been unseen threats to family. Unseen threats. Something has to end, or everybody has to be safe. I can't wait to see what you're getting. Something has to end.
I'm definitely getting the delay on the bottom. It's almost like drag it out as long as you can. Delay, 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 which is what Trump likes to do in the courts, right? The thief. This is the election being stolen. This is legacy work. This is like something that even Biden will be remembered for how he handled it, and the government for how they handled this. So there's a little bit that's covered up. They're still trying to get to the bottom of. There's so much corruption in this. It's a little bit chaotic, and they're also afraid of another insurrection. Here's insurrection right here: betrayal, treason, and fighting. So they want to make sure they've got all the evidence. They're weighing out all the evidence. They're very nervous about it, and they want to illuminate the crap out of Trump. Trump is now officially my loser card for those who are new to the channel. I used to get the fool, although I have the fool on the bottom. I thought a minute ago. He always shows up as the loser.
Do you remember that card reader that was on Fox News that pulled that card for him?
Yeah.
That's when he started showing up that way for me. After that card reader on Fox. What you getting, Becca?
A delay, because the transition is going to be problematic and the transition is a lie. There's official meetings. Okay. Delay, transition, trouble, transition is a lie. Official meetings. Okay.
So there's not going to be a transition, in other words.
There's going to be a transition of some sort.
But there's a delay. The question was, why is there a delay in the announcement? There's a delay because something was transferred or transitioned falsely. Also, remember, this is the card of the enemy. So an enemy from abroad lied or betrayed. Okay? Official meetings. Does that make sense? So that's what I get. You want more waffles? Look at how cute she is.
Okay. Last question. Oh, Miss Braxy getting waffles. I want a waffle.
Is she having chicken and waffles or just waffles?
No, just waffles.
Okay.
So JD Vance had minor sinus surgery on Friday after the everybody was sworn in. Did he blow his nose out like Trump did? Does he have a little?
Is sinus surgery code word for nose job, or is that real sinus surgery?
Well, or deviated septum, like Trump blew out his years ago. You know, he's had his worked on several times. Maybe
Too bad there's
snorting a
not
little
enough
too much.
plastic surgery on the planet to make Trump somewhat attractive. Because he is uglier than shit, I'm telling you. Even when he was younger, he was ugly.
Don't hold back, Becca. Don't hold back now.
He's always had that tiny mouth that looks like a dog's butt. You know, it's like,
JD Vance might have got a sofa cushion spring up his nose.
those couches. It's always the couches. So why did he get a nose job, Braxy? You want to tell us? You're psychic puppy. You're psychic puppy, huh?
He legitimately have some little polyps in his nose, or is he a party boy?
So why did he have nose surgery?
Hemorrhagic tissue or nerves.
I get obstruction of some sort, but why? I don't know, but I do get an obstruction. Yeah, 7 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles. There's your work. I don't think it was necessary because I don't think, well, I'll just say I think he had some obstruction, yes. And no.
Too much of that booger sugar, huh? Because that's what I get to. That's what I get to. A secret. There's your obstruction way on high. It was high up there. So he had one of those booger sugars lodged way up in there.
I'm getting it's a pill, whether it's crust or whatever. Like, you know, he's partnering with the people and getting away with stuff, and
Don Jr.
Big old pill that's quite strong. This is routine, although he would lie about it. This is quite routine that he's doing something that gets him. Yeah, this is my card for getting high, getting on higher ground, getting high. He's getting high.
Booger sugar. That's all I'm telling
Him and Musk and like they're all a bunch of freaking addicts.
It's the snow cane.
Snowmageddon hitting the White House.
Can you imagine how happy Don Jr. is right now?
I finally seen that video because he was trending the other day when he stuck his hand in his pocket and then his finger in his mouth.
You finally saw it.
I'm like, what is it in front of everybody? That's what you're gonna do right now?
Rubbing it on his gums.
And that guy, Dr. Feelgood, was standing right behind him, and he's like, "You know that you can. They can see you, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, okay."
He was invisible.
But then go ahead and tell us. Go ahead and tell us what a horrible addict Hunter Biden was. And oh, by the way, since we now have you on film putting the booger sugar in your gums,
You know,
how about we go look at your guns? Because you probably lied on your thing saying that you didn't have a drug addiction when you purchased your gun.
Remember the White House logs from Dr. Feelgood when he was in there, all the fentanyl and everything else he was giving out?
No, I want to see him get the same treatment that they put Hunter Biden through. Because now we have it on film. Don Jr. giving himself the gummies. and he's a gun owner. I'm just saying.
The Republican who pushed the hardest for those charges, to rip Hunter apart, he's got 2 sons that both had drug addictions, and one of them had died, and yet he was pushing about Hunter. It's like crazy. I forget what his name was.
These people. I
think he was from one of the Dakotas or somewhere. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. We will be on Becca's channel, which is House of Lenorman, next Sunday, 7 p.m.
Psychic Puppy will be there too.
Psychic Puppy.
Hi, Psychic Braxy.
She tells me all the good stuff all the time.
That's and right. What breed is she again?
She's a Cane Corso.
A Cane Corso.
Which is an Italian Mastiff. That's why her head's so big.
She has a big head.
Yeah, she has a pumpkin.
And a big body.
Yeah. Well, she's actually kind of small. Huh. She's just
Not in person. She's like a Clydesdale in person. So.
My Little Pony.
Not that big, John.
I was sitting in the car and the earth was shaking when she ran up towards it. I'm like,
If you think she was big,
roll up the window and this.
I shared the pictures of her brother.
I seen that too. Mm-hmm.
Johnny, his head was twice the size of mine.
I seen him. He was a mammoth, but she's still a Clydesdale.
Mammoth is exactly the word.
Becca, on New Year's Eve, I didn't get a chance to ask you, but I had several people who were asking for you to talk about Lenorman, which decks you like to use, and which books you refer people to, because we have a lot of new subscribers.
Okay, is that okay if I
take a minute and talk about the books that you like recommend?
These are the Cheeto Marchetti gilded Lenormand, and gilded because the edges were gold gilded. This is like an old deck, so the gilding fell off. So I use these, and I use let me dig it out. I forget what these other ones are called. I think these are like the destructed Lenormand, and you can see because it looks like it's got like ink splattered on there. But those are mostly the two decks that I use. Sometimes if I don't have a deck handy, I'll just use pieces of paper with numbers.
She also has the tiles she uses that Johnny got her, which are really pretty.
Thank you, lucky girl. She posted them in there. Gilded Revere Lenormand and Rana George Lenormand.
Yeah, this one is the Rana George. I don't use these as much because they're very thick cardstock.
Oh, which I love.
Yeah, but I like to do my shuffling like this. I don't shuffle like this. But these are smaller. These are the Rana George ones. You can get all three of these on Amazon, because I just recently, when Johnny was down, we saw our first deck of Lenny's at Barnes and Noble, and my jaw hit the floor because they only had the Cheeto Marchetti ones at my Barnes and Nobles by my house, and my jaw hit the floor. I was like, holy shit, because it was nothing but tarot and oracle cards, and then this one tiny deck of Lenny's. And then the book that I would recommend is the Rana George Essential Lenormand. You can also pick this one up on Amazon. I would start here. Do not get the Bjorn one until you have mastered everything here, because his book is more about the old method, the traditional method of using the grand tableau. So I would start here to learn
basics.
The basics. Because for those that are new, the Lennies have a different language than tarot. They speak differently. It's what's considered a more practical deck. So it doesn't really go into esoteric numerology and that sort of stuff. So the way that it can speak is it can be metaphorical, symbolic, literal, and numerical. That's the language. So until you can figure out or master the question that you're asking, what type of question you're asking, and then interpret the cards, I would start here. I would not go any further than this. But this is essentially all that you need until you're wanting to learn more about the traditional method with grand tableaus, and I would refer you to the Bjorn books, but start here. So
Paisley said, don't waste that shuffle, pull us a weather card, Jen Lynn. Stay home. Stay home, stay warm,
Build
stay
that
safe.
fire.
Wait until the roads are clear. Don't go anywhere.
Yep. So that's
thank you so much for that, because I had written that down for New Year's, and then you didn't stay long with us, so I never got to it. But thank you for filling everybody in on that.
I didn't stay long, but Jen, I was not surviving. As soon as I got off, I went to sleep. Like, I just could not stay awake. I was done. So
Well, thank you again, everyone, for the donations for World Central Kitchen. Again, our biggest fundraiser, the donate button is still active
The
indefinitely.
donate
So if
button is
anyone wants
still
to give,
active.
Come here, Braxy.
and we will see you on House of Lenorman next week.
Say bye-bye. Say
Bye,
bye-bye.
Braxy.
Bye, Braxy.
It's more waffles.
Say bye.